Guys, 4 reasons a business owner can also use the strategies in myEcon as well. Because I think a lot of people, you put so much emphasis on the W-4 and you put so much emphasis on, the W-2 changing the W-4 that people think that this business is only for people who have a job, and they could not be further from the truth. I want y'all to really think about it. You know my story by now. Did I have a job when I joined the business? No. So if your leader didn't have a job and he's doing exceptionally well in the business, then that should debunk the myth that you need a job and this strategy is only good for people with jobs. I haven't worked in 19 years on a job. So why is it that I can tear the business up and use the strategies? Well, reason number one. Actually, I'm going to give you 4 or maybe 5 reasons because it's off the top of my head, and I just thought about this earlier. But reason number one, why is myEcon excellent for business owners? Here's reason number one. Because business owners know people with jobs. That's the first thing. So it amazes me when a person says, well, I own a business, so I don't need these strategies. I'm like, oh, you own a business. Okay, I got it. So that means you have employees. Yeah. Well, you need to show them these strategies. It's real simple. That doesn't hurt. The taxes coming out of their check doesn't affect your business. You're trying to show your employees how to be more productive with their finances, and then you get paid by doing so as well. Now, if the business owner is selfish and doesn't want their employees to make money, then that's another trainer. But my point to you guys is never let a 1099 or a business owner tell you that the strategies are something that they don't necessarily need only off the sheer fact that they don't have a job. That's not true. You want to let them know that these strategies are for people that do have a job, and you can position yourself in the middle to get paid by introducing it to those that you know who do have a job. I mean, because we're not crazy here. Business owners, you're in the minority. The majority of the people do have a job. So that's number one. Mr. I don't need the business owner needs to know that the business is also is that's great, but it's available for people who do, and I'm sure you have those in your circle. Which brings us to number 2. A lot of business owners or a lot of people that are 1099, they confuse a self-employee based business with a business ownership. They confuse a self-employee based business with a business ownership. In other words, just because you get paid on the 1099, that's just a tax code. That's all that is. It does not mean that you can create a residual that you can leverage to your children. It does not mean that the business is not owning you instead of you owning the business. It does not mean that that person that's on the 1099 is happy with their finances. It does not mean that that 1099 is satisfied with their freedom and flexibility. You see what I'm saying? Don't confuse. Just because a person says, I already have a 1099, so I'm fine, that does not mean that they're happy with their time, they're happy with their money, and it does not mean that they're successful. A 1099 is just a tax code. So it does not mean that they can leverage their current 1099 like we can leverage ours. So let me just recap. Reason number 1 is simple. Business owners know people that have a W-2 and they can get paid off that. Reason number 2 is simple. There's a difference between a self-employed person and a business owner, and we as business owners in myEcon have leverage. Reason number 3, very important, business owners suck at record keeping. I know this for a fact. It's a headache for all business owners. Business owners like to move and shake. Business owners like to shake and bake. We throw some receipts into an envelope. The envelopes fade, get lost half. The receipts fade. Envelopes get lost half the time. We hate keeping records. So another reason a 1099 would still love our business is because the software alone will save them a ton of money in taxes. So the record keeping alone is worth the price of admission for a business owner. And if you don't believe me, just check them and ask them how they're keeping records. Okay? See, I have a tendency to think just because a person owns a business that they're immensely successful, that they're extremely sophisticated when it comes to finances. I'm here to tell you right now, that's not true at all. They have a skill set and they have a talent that they're obviously good at, and they have the courage to step out there and do it, which I applaud. But that doesn't make them great at the financial aspect of tax minimization. So that's very important, which brings me to number 3. Just because you get paid on the 1099, 4, just because you get paid on the 1099, that does not mean that you get all the tax deductions that a home-based business owner receives. You see? So, okay, you own a daycare, you own a nail salon, you own a barbershop. All that's great. But if I take a trip to Hawaii, I can't, that's not what's called reasonable and customary for my business. I can't take all my clients to Hawaii, so I can't write off my vacation. In other words, a home-based business that is in the marketing arena allows you to create more deductions from your current expenses. Most business owners, just because you have a 1099, does not mean that you can write off the things that we can by being members of our marketing business, our educational business. Very, very, very important. So I think I said number 1, Mr. 1099, you know W-2s. So just because you don't need a 1099 does not mean you don't know people who would like to have a 1099. Number 2, Mr. Business Owner. There's a difference between a self-employed business owner and a true business owner. Just because you don't have a job doesn't mean that your business doesn't own you. So we create leverage to give you your time back, Mr. Business Owner, which brings us to number 3, excellent record keeping. Mr. Business Owner, I promise you, you need this software, this cash flow strategist to have a long-term financial goal. And I promise you, you need our cash flow manager, which is the record keeping, to lower your taxes and keep those taxes down. Which brings us to number 4, Mr. Business Owner. I promise you that the deductions that a home-based business will give you, in addition, I'm very proud of you, Mr. Business Owner, but in addition to what you're doing, I can give you some more deductions just by you simply sharing with people the power of entrepreneurship. In other words, in your current business, can you tell people, can you show people how to do what you do and get paid? Kind of brings us back to leverage, but it's a little bit different. But that's very, very important. And number 5, just because a person says they get paid on a 1099, that doesn't mean they own a business. A lot of you guys think that. Like a 1099, again, that's just a tax code. So you might be talking to a person that's just a general contractor. Hey, man, I'm already a 1099, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have no W-4. Oh, but do you own a 1099? Oh, no. See, I thought you, oh, okay, well, no, we're trying to get you to own a business and get paid as a 1099. Now, you're a contractor, so you don't have a W-4, and they are taking the taxes out on the back. So congratulations, you get your money up front. But we need to show you why you need to own a 1099, not just be a 1099. Man, I hope you guys understand that. Those are 5 important reasons why our strategies make a ton of sense, or should make a ton of sense, to business